Hello.
Hello, good morning, friend.
Good morning.
That's
How
a
are you?
rock and roll fucking top.
You like that?
I love Oh my God. Let me guess. Cody got it for you.
What? No, I found this on the side of the road. Yeah,
Good find, Cody. Good
good
find.
find.
That would be a
Yeah,
great Vegas shirt, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too.
But we
But
both went with stripes today.
I know. I got this stripy vibe. Let me,
Yeah.
it's up by my nose. Okay, there we go. So, how was your week?
Good. But
Yeah,
busy per the use, yeah. Hello? Yeah, can I talk to her? I guess so. Hold on.
hey,
No.
Elena.
Mom, I want to hear. Oh, okay. Here comes some of my lap.
Hey, you cute girl. How are you?
I'm in front of my mother. I was making a bed for myself. I couldn't put the blue
Oh,
towel
really?
on myself for a blanket.
Oh, oh, goodness me.
Are you coming to ask for help?
Okay.
Mama, will you please put that blue towel on me? Yeah, I'm gonna do it real quick. I'm gonna come back and you gotta let me talk. I'll be right back. Anthony is car shopping with a friend,
Oh,
and
fun.
so she might visit
Uh-huh.
occasionally. Hopefully not. It feels like I saw you like freeze for a second
Okay.
there. Did you see that?
Probably I keep getting like audio um garbled. Anyway, the weather here really, really sucks right now, so it may be
Oh,
messing with the internet.
oh, okay. The weather here
It's
is really, really beautiful right now. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Move here.
damn it.
Mm. Man, it's been so nice.
Yeah.
I went on two field trips Thursday and Friday this week. I went to SeaWorld on Thursday. I rode all
Cool.
the coasters, and there's more than I thought there was going to be, but they were all awesome. And then Friday, Busch Gardens also,
Nice.
all the coasters. I feel like my stomach is kind of like shaken up.
I
It's
feel
just a
like a
little
little
uneasy.
unsteady.
Yeah, a little unsteady.
Hmm.
Like I said, she's here with us today. Yeah, that is
Perfect.
something that I'm going to talk about later, baby. Thanks. This is
Cool.
just a little sneak peek. Emily wants to talk to you real quick. Come here.
Hey, Elena. Elena! Wait, 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 wait.
She has something to tell you. That was rude.
That's okay.
I want to talk right now. Can she please tell you something? You can't have this, baby, right now. Show her before. Okay, well, come sit on my lap and I'll let you show her. How about that? Maybe if we just let you do all that you want right now, then I can do what I want. I don't know. Oh,
Okay.
not with the
Hey,
headphones
Elena.
on. Oh, no headphones? Okay.
Elena. Oh, okay.
We can hear you. Now I can do it. Oh, it just had to be
Okay.
in her time and
All
her.
right. Elena, where's your doggy?
His name is Enzo,
Oh,
but
where's your
he's
puppy?
in his kennel. But no.
He's in his kennel. Do you
Hmm.
love to play with him? Is he like your best friend ever?
He's my daughter.
He's your daughter?
He's your daughter.
Okay, well, very progressive. Good job.
All right, I hope.
You're good.
Yeah.
You're you're a mom first and foremost. So
Oh,
like
I
that's
know. I know.
super
Well,
important.
like me and Anthony didn't really like communicate our plans to each other until like we both had kind of already made plans. But it
Hmm.
was like we can make that work. So
Yeah, I get that.
this is us making it work. She's here with me.
Well,
Anyways, all right. So week was good. Week was busy. How about you?
was good. Week was good.
Other than that, the weather
Continuing
kind of sucks a lot.
the weather. Yeah, well, it keeps trying to decide what it wants to do. So it's like super nice, and then all of a sudden it's like, just kidding.
Yeah,
So
that kills my
yeah.
sinuses. Like
Hmm.
I get so boogery with the
The
ups and downs of
headache.
weather. Oh yeah, I hate it.
Hmm.
I
But
think we're like warming into like we're like in spring full fling here. I feel like it's,
oh,
it's real nice.
I do miss early springs. Not like I
Yes.
had them, but like when we went to California that one time for in
Yeah.
February and there was grass and like,
Yeah.
oh, this would be
It's
nice.
we don't get very much spring. It's just like,
Yeah.
ooh, it's that nice weather, and then it's gonna be like 90s and above.
Hmm.
Can you
Yeah.
hear
No, we get
Enzo
a lot of spring.
crying?
No.
So he's in his kennel and he's normally totally fine with that when because like
Hmm.
sometimes he's being kennel trained, so sometimes when we really can't pay attention, he'll hang out in there. But I think he could just hear us and he's like, guys, you're playing.
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He'll be out in a bit. Okay.
he's good.
Anyways. Yeah.
Well, sweet. So what have you got on the docket for today?
Okay. So I thought this would be fun. My friend Maya, who was on the tipping episode
Uh-huh.
with us, she randomly was just like, "Hey, have you heard about, da da da?" And I was like, "No, I have not." So I looked it up, and then there was another thing that came across that was like, "Did you know?" And I was like, "I absolutely did not know that." And I just thought they were pretty interesting, so then I kind of started looking for some things. So I compiled a
Hmm.
little like, "Did you know?" list. So maybe you'll know some of
Okay.
these. Maybe some of these will be like, "I did not know that," but either way, I figured we could, you know.
You may be exposing like a lot that I don't know, but that's okay.
Or maybe, or at least, things that you could be like, yeah, I didn't know that, and then go look into it further, or
Yeah.
just be like, well, that's interesting, and move along with your day, because some of them are like that.
Who doesn't like to be, yeah, who doesn't like to be a little more educated? And
All
if
right,
it's worthless information, it will stick a lot better in my head. It's just FYI. I
I
I
got
don't
some of
know
that.
why.
I got some real worthless
Good.
information on here.
That's
Okay,
good.
the first one though, the one that Maya asked me was, have you heard about the cheese caves in Missouri? Did you know about the cheese caves in Missouri?
Cheese cave, cheese caves.
Or cheese caves? I don't.
Well, I didn't know if you
It's
were saying
just
cheesecake or either way, I'm not familiar with it.
You're
So,
not the only one who thought I was saying cheesecake because I was going on a whole spill about this, and I was pretty far in before she was
uh,
like, "Oh, not cheesecake," and I was like,
cheesecake.
"Nope, no."
No, but there's
Anyway,
caves with cheese
yeah.
because
So apparently, and I'll share some of the links of like places where you can look more about this. But
okay,
the cheese caves, I believe it was in 1977. Um, then President Jimmy Carter opted to prop up the ailing dairy industry. Um, so basically they were subsidizing,
subsidize them. Yep.
uh-huh. And then it was like started being overproduced because the government was then buying back the excess. And so I guess we ended up with the cheese caves. And then at some point in time, they started, like it started molding the ones that had been there too long. And I think that's where we got government cheese because then, like, I
I
think
was
there
gonna
there
ask,
had
is
been
that the
like a
thing?
so yeah, I think there had been a suggestion like you just dump it in the ocean, but then there was like, that's some bullshit. We have starving people. Like, so
Uh-huh.
so I think that's where government cheese comes from. It's interesting, because it still exists today. I believe it's now privately owned though. I don't know
The caves
why.
or
Yeah,
just
the caves and the cheese, the mass amounts of cheese.
interesting.
Very
Aged
interesting.
aged to perfection.
I guess so. But
I know they still do that with like with milk. If they overproduce milk to a certain point, they'll just dump it out in the middle of nowhere,
yeah, well, this was instead of dumping out the milk,
which is like
they
it's
made
hard to
cheese
watch
because it
because
has a longer shelf life. But yeah, oh, we our food systems are just generating so much waste because, as we always complain about on here, things are done for profit, not for people. So,
well, it would be nice to be able to send our excess somewhere where it's needed. Like I know that takes money
or
and effort
okay,
and a
if
lot of
there's
things, but
excess, lower the price significantly. Make it easier for people to get and those other people to enjoy it in excess instead of it being dumped out or enjoy it at all. Like,
well, it has to be done to, I mean, there has to be a balance there because otherwise farmers are working their tails off for zero money if they lower the price too far. You know what I mean?
okay, so but
There's
then
there's a balance,
what's
but
the deal with all the
um
extra milk though? Why'd you have to charge more for something you didn't have to do?
yeah.
You didn't have to
Well,
make the extra milk and charge
mm,
more. You could have. you could either mass produce and make it less, or I don't know. I get that there's like a delicate balance, but
Yeah. If there's, yeah. But there are also starving people all over the world then, and many, many people who would donate money to get food to starving people all over the world. So you would think there's some kind of process we could use to get food to people who need it.
yeah,
Farmers don't want to dump out their milk. Like, anyway,
yeah,
that's all.
that is all.
But no, I had never heard of a cheese cave.
But now you know. Now you know. All right. The
Yeah.
next, did you
But it,
know?
but it smells delicious.
Yeah, probably. I do like me some cheese.
I
Like,
do too. And it could stand to be less expensive. So
yeah.
let's
Free the cheese.
free the cheese. I would wear that shirt, carry that sign.
Okay, so did you know about the candy desk in the United States Senate?
Candy desk?
Yeah.
That sounds like something I wanted when I was a kid.
Yeah, yeah. Sounds like a good idea, but it
Like
exists.
when I'd read the Babysitter's Club and yeah.
It was a
Okay, what is
tradition
a candy desk?
since 1965, where the senator who sits at that particular, whatever this particular desk near a busy entrance, and they actually have like the a map of it so you can see which desk it is. So there's like a particular seat,
Okay.
and the desk is like whoever the current occupant of that desk is fills the candy drawer. So whatever state they're from, basically the candy comes from. So like when the if the person sitting there was from like Pennsylvania, you get a lot of Hershey's and stuff like that.
Nice.
Very interesting.
That's
And
cool.
it's still, and the current occupant of the candy desk is an Indiana Senator, Todd Young. So I don't know
Nice.
what candy comes from Indiana specifically. Jesse, if you know, insert here. Oh no, you froze for a second.
My parents lived in Indiana. My parents were from Indiana and they'd send me bubble gum all the time. So I think you should stock it with bubble gum.
Bubblegum. I lived there for 10
That's
years
just
and
my own.
I didn't know that there was special Indiana bubblegum.
There's not. It was regular bubble gum, but it was sent from Indiana. So
Well, maybe it's produced there though. So who knows?
let's go
Anyways.
with okay.
Yeah. All right. Look at you learning all these
But no,
things.
I had never heard of the candy desk.
Okay.
Right? That sounds like something I need to implement
This
in
is
my own home.
like one of those really, well, maybe useless, I don't know, but just more like, how did I not know that? And maybe you'll know it.
Okay.
Did you know that zippers lock?
Zippers lock.
Yeah.
Explain.
Hold on. Let me get some pants. Hold on. I should have
Okay.
been prepared. Hold on.
It's like I could have just like stood up and you could show me on mine, but
No, no, no. So like you pull up the zipper.
uh-huh.
If it's like just out, you can just open it. But when you pull
Uh-huh.
up the zipper, if you push this down,
Uh-huh.
it locks.
What?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
What?
I think that like it happens naturally a lot that it'll get flapped down. But if it's not
Yeah.
flapped down, you can that's how people's it's like, oh, your fly's down, you probably zipped it up, but then you didn't push it down and lock it. And it just so now you know. Zipper's freaking
What?
lock.
I did not know that. And I could have used that on many an occasion. Damn it.
Well, yeah,
Like the
just to
one
be
time.
aware to be like, make sure that's down because I've definitely
Hmm.
been the person who someone's like, hey, your fly's open. I've been like, how the hell? Like I could have swore I zipped that up. So
Like
that
the one time I played an entire violin recital and got off and was like, damn it. No.
if only I'd locked my zipper.
Only I'd locked my zipper. That seems like that could go for a lot of things. Anyway.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
good to know. Good to know
Good to know.
information.
Yes.
Alrighty. My next did you know? And I think this
Mhm.
one's just like this is like a nice to know too. Did you know that Bob Moore, the founder of Bob's Red Mill, transferred the ownership of his company to his employees before he died? So he's
I think I
completely
did hear that.
employee owned versus selling
That's
out to a
pretty cool.
corporation. Yeah, that's freaking awesome. Like we need so much more of that. So much more of like people getting to have take ownership. I mean, really, you care so much more about what you're doing. Like, I feel like I have jobs. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
have jobs. Like I do a good job, but like
You're always
everything,
helping other people.
yeah, it's always helping somebody else. Like it's not my place. You know what I mean? So I just don't have that. But if like there was more ownership in the form of like you can't make me just take ownership by making me like you should be a proud employee. Like it's like no, you should be
We're a family, are
we're
we?
not a
Like,
family. This is not like everybody should be like receiving the profits, but we don't. Like that's just not how it works. So
well,
I it makes me so happy.
that's why I think there huh, no, that's why I think there needs to be like a correlation between how much employees are paid based on how much the company's bringing in. Not really a total socialism, but like a there has to be some kind of a
There
correlation.
needs to
And
be a
so
maximum wage. You can't make a certain
when we do
percentage more than what your lowest person
well,
makes.
we rise all together.
Hmm.
When you have one person benefiting from the work of everybody, that's more like slavery. And if you have like, hey, this is a company and we really do all rise and fall together, let's all work together. Heck yeah. Like let's do this
Yeah.
shiz.
I think when history looks at this time in the world, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be like, and there were slaves here and there were slaves there. We didn't call them that, but like when you can only if you're only getting your bare minimum like bare needs met by working all the time, even and you have to even manage how to get those bare needs met. Like
Sounds
you're not
familiar.
living. Yeah, it sounds real familiar. And
Hmm.
yeah. And then our prison system too, just the
Hmm.
indentured servitude that we have going on there. How many different like corporations are utilizing prison work? Like, oh, we're
It's
disgusting.
a messed up
The
system.
human race. We're
Yes.
stupid.
But I just got us off track of what you were trying to. Oh, you were saying also about or what you were saying reminded me about, did you hear about I'm going to forget the name, but it's like the Einstein College in
Oh, the
New York?
billionaire who paid for the medical school like tuition? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. No, that's
I
super
love
freaking
that.
amazing. Yes, I love that. That's the
That's going to kick butt.
yeah,
I like that a
more of
lot.
that is what we need. And I mean, they're really old, right? The people who gave it, like they've kind of lived their life, so they're just like, I don't know.
Whatever the reason,
I
like
know.
they
Let's hope there's
they
more of that.
made it a tuition-free medical school. That's so cool.
I
May many
agree.
others follow suit.
Yes. And then
So,
people who have had interest in doing that may see a pathway to actually do it. So we get more people who like genuinely want to do the things versus people
yeah,
who my dad was a doctor and they could afford to send me to school to be a doctor. So I'm a doctor and I do the business
right.
of it, but I don't care.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have changed a lot of things for me growing up, probably.
Yeah.
I
Having
loved medicine.
like people say you can do whatever you want, but without the funds to do whatever, like it's so fucking hard to do. Whereas there are some people that just
Yeah.
it's the path is handed to them and they don't even care about
Hmm.
it. So,
Yeah.
alrighty. The
Moving
next,
along.
did you know?
Did you
Did you
know?
know about world fairs?
The World's Fairs? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, have you heard any conspiracy theories about like world's fairs?
I have heard a few,
Okay.
but tell me, go.
Well, I don't know much. This is one of those things that like I just kind of I've seen in passing, but really I never learned about it in history or anything. It's not something I remember learning about. And it could just be that I wasn't paying attention. I don't know. But they so I need to do, I guess, a lot more research if I were to speak on anything. But what I heard was that they would create these world's fairs where they basically built a city, but like meant to
Uh-huh.
be temporary. Hi, baby.
Mama, do you know how to make sand?
Do I know how to make sand? Well,
That is a wonderful question.
yeah, sand is created over a long period of time. But I know where to
Let
find
me tell you
sand. Yeah.
about the waves of the ocean
Yeah.
and the particles of dirt.
Um, I I don't think we're gonna bring any sand inside right now, but maybe later we can play in some sand, okay? She really, really, really wants mud. Like she keeps being like, "Can we make mud?" I want to play in a muddy puddle. I think it's thanks to Peppa.
Have
But
you
but we have sand. Like our soil
have you
is
ever
just
made
sandy.
what they call it, oobleck or something,
Yeah.
where it's cornstarch and water and it makes a giant mess, but it feels
Well,
like mud?
you know the girls, we've made it with the girls. I don't think I've done it with Elena. Maybe it's time.
It
Maybe
is time.
we'll make a mud-like substance later, okay? Righty boo. So unfortunately, no, I I can't make sand for you. All right. I'm just gonna go ahead and she's gonna show with us. So I was saying for what I learned. So
World's
the
fairs.
temporary cities were built, and then it was to showcase new technologies and things like that. And I understand that that's like
Uh-huh.
how they got, people together. Like I guess they used to do more for the people.
So World's Fair, they
World's fairs,
make these cities and
ornate cities, yeah,
mhm.
and
I mean,
showcase a
that's where
bunch
the
of
Eiffel Tower came from and like a lot of different
large
things.
statues or things. Cool. Um,
Hmm.
but then they like completely tore them down like a couple
Hmm.
years later. So,
Yeah.
and they never made as much money, this is what I heard, as what they had to spend to put into it. And I know that like, I
Yeah.
don't know, people do things for a reason and normally money's somewhere in there. So the fact that they weren't making a profit does make it a little more believable that there were other maybe
Yeah.
nefarious things. So the thing I heard, the conspiracy theory I heard was something about it
Hmm.
like being used for the Great Reset, which was a time in history where they put up structures and like, kind of made people, because when you change your surroundings and how you see things and stuff like that, so that they like were able to cover up and change certain aspects of history by using these things to reset, things,
Oh, interesting.
right? I was
To
like,
like,
that could
let's
be.
just, it's like covering up a tattoo. It's
Yeah. And then, whatever, because of like, if you weren't making any
like,
money
well,
off of this and it was really all altruistic, let's let the people get together. Let's give them large cake. I don't know. I thought that was
yeah.
very interesting.
Well, and it would be there for a really long time. I mean, you're talking like, I think at least a year. They would have these cities set up and people would come and walk through it and see it and learn all these new technologies that were coming into
Yeah.
play. So that's kind of
So,
cool. But yeah,
yeah, it is
to
cool, but also it's like, what was really the motive? Because now as I'm watching our world and I see how everything's kind of constructed and like there's always some motive, like there's no way I believe it was completely altruistic.
the amount of important things that have been done in this world for purely altruistic means or for purely altruistic reasons. Very
Yeah,
few.
unfortunately, I feel
I
like.
shouldn't say few. Maybe they are a lot, but that one seems a little sketch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to look into the World's Fairs, see what I can come up with.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was interesting though. And also just
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. Like it makes it look like when you see the pictures, um, like Chicago looked like Rome or something, like it had these
Yeah,
beautiful buildings and it's just
and
to
then
tear
just
it down. Like I don't know. I don't know if I believe that. Anyways, like I know you did it, but like why? That
yeah, that is
doesn't.
a lot of effort and a lot of resources. Yeah, why
Yes.
not just leave it too?
For
Like,
exactly for I don't know. Whatever. So something else for us to go on rabbit holes. It's just more of a did you know this?
Welcome to Jesse's fun fact about the Chicago World's Trade Fair that nobody asked for. The 1893 World's Trade Fair was in Jackson Park, Chicago, and famously became known for the H.H. Holmes murder castle. Who is H.H. Holmes? A doctor who abandoned his young wife and child in 1885 to move to Illinois and eventually became America's first serial killer. And may also be Jack the Ripper, according to a docu-series my mom and I watched one time, trust me. It all eerily lines up. After moving to the Chicago area, Holmes started working at a pharmacy near Jackson Park. 8 years later comes the World's Fair. Holmes took advantage of many of the 27 million visitors to Chicago, including many young women who came for jobs at the fairgrounds. Holmes was a masterful and charismatic con artist who purchased an empty lot in the Englewood neighborhood of Chicago and built a labyrinth of a structure that appeared to be a hotel. This hotel had soundproofed rooms, secret passages, and a disorienting maze of hallways and staircases. There were also rooms with trapdoors that dropped victims into the building's basement. In the basement were vats of acid, pits of quicklime, used to decay corpses, and a crematorium. To sum up the rest, Holmes fled, killed his assistant, and two of his assistant's children. He was eventually caught in Boston in October of 1893. Holmes claimed to have killed more than 200 people in his hotel, but experts today believe it was more around 9. The murder castle was gutted by a fire in 1895, after witnesses reported seeing two men entering the building late one night. The building itself was torn down in 1938, and today is the Inglewood branch of the U.S. Post Office. There are many more conspiracy theories about H.H. Holmes himself, including the Jack the Ripper one, but I won't get into that. That's my World's Fair fun fact. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Did you know?
Okay, one that I heard today that I thought was kind of interesting was that, did you know that the expiration dates on water bottles are for the bottles and not the water?
Really?
Yeah, because the water
Makes
bottle,
sense.
the plastic can begin to break down and like leach into the water.
Oh,
Yeah. But
great.
this brings this that Elena wanted to do so bad, and I told her I would let her.
Oh, yeah.
I can't be a liar.
I already showed her. It was already time.
Oh, sorry, you already saw it, so.
Oh, yeah. We're good.
Okay.
Can I see it again?
I can see it again.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
So this here is
Lots of
something,
colors.
yeah, something that I got at one of the most recent dental programs that I went to.
Huh?
And it was a bunch of hygienists, so it was teaching us about, we're just talking about things in the mouth and things to talk about with patients and stuff like this. And this is the alkalinity, the acidity of different like water bottles. And what I
Oh,
found to
yeah.
be disgusting and super interesting is that, like,
Yeah.
you see Dasani over here, which I think
Uh-huh.
tastes disgusting anyways, but
Me
is
too.
also produced by Coca-Cola, has the same acidity level as a Coca-Cola. So you think you're drinking water to be better for your teeth? But
It always has that weird, like,
yeah,
taste.
yeah. So I'm gonna share this because it even has a thing on here. Like, and I will say, disclaimer, this research was provided by a water company, and it's one of the ones that's in like a good pH. It's supposed to be helping the alkalinity of the body. So
Yeah.
obviously there's their motive, but still, these are just measurements, and this is the pH of that. So they're who put it together, but the pH still exists.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll share that. I took a picture and I'll put it up, but
Okay.
isn't that interesting? So when you think you're
That is
drinking
interesting.
water, which is, better than soda, soaking your teeth and like sugars and causing an acidic environment, you could be doing just
There's
as
levels
bad.
to this.
Yeah, with a bottle of water because our water is such shit.
Yeah. There are levels
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
this. Got to be
Yeah.
aware.
Okay. Now this was probably the did you know like that I was like
Okay.
most shocked by, okay? Did you know that
Shocking.
that Amelia Earhart wasn't alone? You knew that?
Yeah,
Because
I
I
did.
didn't. I was like, oh my God. I saw a meme that was like, if you ever feel forgotten or like you just don't matter, just remember Amelia Earhart had a navigator. I was like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I
That
didn't know
whole
that
story is
one.
just like mind-boggling.
I don't know, I guess, the
Well,
whole story. What I can tell you is that Earhart and her navigator Fred Noonan were flying a Lockheed Model 10E Electra when they disappeared.
hmm yeah.
And Purdue University funded the plane where Earhart was an advisor. But yeah, so that I did not know that.
Yeah. I because my name is Amelia, and when we would do research projects, I would be like, I'll be Amelia Earhart. So anyway, I did quite a few little research projects on her. So I
Oh,
did know
okay.
about Fred, but it's still, yeah.
Um,
He's definitely the forgotten one on that journey.
Yeah,
Like I
that
guess
made me
it's
laugh.
sad that he died too. Probably had some family or something.
Something like that. Oh,
Yeah.
anyways, sorry, Fred. R.I.P. All right. So,
We should make a Fred Noonan Day or something like that. Like just a day to celebrate Fred.
yeah, just an obscure. It's like when we had the Gene Kelly fan club, speaking of the Fred
Yes.
Noonan fan club. The
Hey,
assistance of
I'm
the
in.
world. Yeah. Okay. So this is something last night I was actually talking to Maya again and she threw another did you know at me because she knew we were going to talk about this. She just learned about, she said, "Did you know
Did you
that
know?
Neanderthals were not dumb like we've been taught? Like that they had tools, they, like they just and actually, and I might be saying this wrong, but hopefully I understood what she was saying, that Neanderthals um and Homo sapiens, I believe, like breeding actually created larger brains, which is like how we
Interesting.
progress, which I think it's, like
How we
variety.
came to be.
Variety is the spice of life, like too much of the same thing
Sameness.
normally.
Hmm.
Yeah, like you need different. So I thought that was interesting because like when people use that as like a like Neanderthal, they're calling you dumb, like they weren't actually dumb. They were smarter than we think.
Yeah.
But that's interesting.
I I can see that.
Yeah.
They had to be smart to survive. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Do you have any
There.
any did you knows?
Any did you knows? Any like okay. I usually have
Like I know I
um
didn't tell you to bring anything, but I'm like, do you know anything that maybe I don't?
okay, ones that I really liked were that owls have longer legs than we think they do. Have you ever seen those?
I think so because
They're
they're like squatted down, right?
yeah, and penguins too. They have like
I don't think I
I
knew
think
that.
penguins, yeah.
So they
Like you
choose
think they
to
just
do this. This is a
well, it's
choice.
like their skin and feathers go over the top, so tightly to keep them warm that they kind of have to wiggle around. But if you Google what does a penguin's legs look like, they have legs.
Okay. Might have to Google
So
that.
there's that. Let's see what other useless information do I know because
Who
that
else
is
has
like
long legs?
most people. No, let's see. Dang, I don't know. On the spot.
Sorry.
That's
I,
okay.
I just thought you might be able to come up with something. And you did. You did come up
I
with
did.
something
I did. Owls and
about
penguins
long legs. Okay,
have
so
legs.
I am trying to send you a TikTok now. So hold on.
Did you also hear that they're finding out that they may have had T-Rex's arms wrong the whole time?
What?
So instead of having these little, derpy arms that do nothing, if you
Uh-huh.
twist them a little bit, they make excellent wing studs.
Oh,
Like
that
they
makes
can lay like a little chicken wing on the
that makes
back.
so much more
Like
sense because they probably wouldn't have been able to survive very
it
well
makes
without.
infinitely more sense. Yeah, like what are these even for? Are you kidding me?
Okay, I'm going to find this. I know
So
I've sent
there's
it.
that.
There's that. That's a good one. That's a good one. So this
Yeah,
last one is did you know? Do you know the origins of the word boycott?
no, I don't actually.
Well, I'd like to share it with you.
Weird Origins You Didn't Know, Part 22. For this origin story, we travel to Ireland. The year is 1880, and the legacy of centuries of British colonial rule has resulted in less than 1% of the population owning 95% of the farmable land. Such wealth disparity leads to intense conflict, where Irish tenant farmers grapple with the harsh demands of landlords. This is on the heels of an economic depression and multiple consecutive years of poor harvests. Amidst these economic hardships, a new organization called the Irish Land League is formed to push for rent reduction and a temporary halt to evictions, with the ultimate goal being to transfer ownership of the land to the tenants. But one man serves as an obstacle to change. We'll refer to him as the Captain. He's a prominent British land agent who manages an estate for an absentee landlord. The Land League demands that rent be reduced by 25% nationwide, but the captain authorizes only a 10% reduction for his tenants and forces eviction for those who can't pay. This infuriates the locals, who devise a novel strategy to punish him. Rather than resorting to violence, the locals simply stop interacting with the captain. Farmers don't work his fields, merchants don't sell to him, and neighbors turn away. The captain, despite his authority, finds himself helplessly isolated, an outcast in his own land. This subtle rebellion, a collective act of shunning, resonates far beyond the Irish borders, and the captain's name becomes synonymous with this act of peaceful refusal. His name? Captain Charles Cunningham Boycott. The name boycott is almost immediately adopted in Ireland and various countries to represent this type of civil disobedience. And now you know its origin. Go tell somebody.
Okay.
Interesting.
So I thought it was interesting, but also like right now in our world and just how things are, I think a lot of those things are kind of like happening again. You know, we're struggling with similar things right now, and a boycott can be a really powerful thing to do. And you know, when you're trying to
Yeah.
be peaceful about things, even though you're angry, like super important. And so there is a boycott starting on April 1st, boycotting. I think at first it's Kellogg. Who's Kellogg? Let me remember. Did you see the commercial that Kellogg's did?
Oh, the cereal for dinner?
Yeah,
Good grief.
exactly. So really, like, our buying power is really our only power. So it is, I don't know, I think it's important. So I think
hmm
somebody else is starting the movement, and I just think it's one that is
Mama,
Worth getting behind.
Mama, you should probably find me under this white blanket, and then
then
you can put this towel on top of it. So when Dad comes here, I'll spook him away.
oh my goodness, you so cray.
That is a wonderful idea.
Yeah. Okay. So anyways,
Kellogg's.
Come on, Mama. Come on, Mama. Just hide me under the white blanket.
hold on, I have to hide her under.
So along the same lines,
Mama, you want this towel
Yes.
for me?
my daughter, okay, so my daughter Aubrey
Mama, tell me when
Yes.
called a couple of weeks ago, middle of the night. She's
Okay.
having a massive allergic reaction.
Oh no.
And she doesn't really get allergic reactions. She's had like two in her whole life to random things.
Yeah.
Anyway, her eyes are swelling up, her throat's closing off. Middle of the night, she's like, I don't know if I should go to the emergency room. I'm like, yeah, you probably should, because
Yeah.
don't die, please.
Yeah, please.
So she goes to the hospital and they do their deal. They pump her full of Benadryl and give her some EpiPens. And they're like, we need to figure out what's going on so that you don't die, because these are going to get worse and worse,
Yeah.
you know, as time goes on. And so they sent her for some allergy testing. And for this poor little college student, it comes back at $3,000. Like, she's like, do you know how long I work for $3,000? Like, that's
And that's after
so
insurance?
long. How can this?
Or does she not have
Well,
insurance?
We don't really have insurance right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's really, really crappy. And anyway,
Mama.
she's like, how can this even be possible? Like, what is going on? So she and I have been
Mama. Mama,
talking,
will
and
you
we're like,
say Daddy?
I think what we
I'll
need to
tell
do
you.
is just get everybody together. We just need to get everybody together and like march on all the Capitol buildings one day and be like, this is ridiculous. Anybody who's voting with these drug companies and health insurance companies and things that are completely destroying us, I mean, it's got to stop. It's got to stop.
Yeah, but also what we talked about and the healthcare when we did, how I was telling you about the group of doctors and lawyers that are working to kind of educate and I think do a lawsuit
Yeah.
about corporations owning our medical. Like, we need to
Yeah.
get behind causes like that. Like, there are people already initiating, because like the doctors aren't the ones taking all that money. You know what I mean?
No,
So we need to
it's not their
take
fault.
the middlemen out of the equation and get back to. And there are things like
Yep.
primary care physicians where you can find them and then pay a fee versus having insurance to just be one of their patients. Yes, baby.
Kelly.
You're silly.
But in the
So,
middle of the night when you
but
think you're going to die, you shouldn't have to.
yes, you shouldn't have to. And yes, we should be more upset and willing to march on capitals, but we're also freaking busy, like
Surviving.
just surviving. And
Did
having
you see
kids.
the farmers in France though that did march on their I don't know where they marched to, the capital of something. Anyway, the government was passing
Stop
some
it,
laws
baby.
that affected the farmers
Yes.
adversely.
Yeah, they know how to revolt there.
So
They're like,
farmers all
no,
drove.
we have the power as the people, and we don't do that here.
Well,
We are so separated and stupid.
they took manure and shot it through like combines and things
Holy
at the building.
shit.
You should look at
Literally.
literally, it was so much. Like you watch it and you're like, there's no way to clean this up. Like, holy cow. I'm not sure what happened there or like how
Yeah, I
that
know,
all
because
ended.
here they would all get
But
shot or something, I guess.
I don't know, but it felt good to watch.
Yeah, right?
Like, huh, yeah, take that. It's like you started throwing the shit first.
Yes.
Anyway,
That
there's
is
some
funny.
more information for
Yeah,
you.
did you know? Now I know about
Did you know?
the farmers revolting in
In
France,
France.
you said? Okay, I'll have to look that up.
I think so.
Mhm.
My
What? Who just came in? Hi, Cody.
Hi Cody.
Is he naked dancing around or something? What's going on?
Possibly.
Ah!
Can I see him?
No.
I want to see him.
No,
No, you don't.
Yes, I
you
do.
need to edit
I
that
like
out.
naked kids.
You like naked kids? It's not a naked kid, it's a naked daddy, I think.
Let me ask you something.
She can hear you.
I want to tell you
Yeah.
something.
Mhm.
What?
I need you to have a gun.
Okay.
Is he a child or a dad?
No, dad. He's a dad.
I found a child.
No,
Hmm.
You're a silly goose.
sorry.
Oh my God. That's funny.
You
All
may
right,
need to
well,
edit that portion
why?
out.
No, I think it's funny. Okay, so I found the TikTok I was talking about that is
yeah.
that was teaching me about the boycott for the first. So I'm gonna play it for you.
I don't know if you guys have seen the videos about the call for Kellogg's boycotts starting on April 1st, but I think it's so important to talk about because it's about the battle between the 99% and the 1%. Us versus the billionaires who are trying to control and manipulate every aspect of our lives, and people have had enough. I'm gonna tag the original 2 creators whose videos I watched and got me all fired up below. But what started this was the ad by Kellogg's that advertised cereal for dinner because basically grocery prices are just too insane for people to afford to feed their families real foods. Kellogg's raised their prices 28% across the board, bragged about record-breaking profits, and then made this commercial, which obviously made a lot of people very angry. So the original creator said for 3 months, we're going to boycott all Kellogg's products. Behind me are just some of the products that we will no longer be purchasing. She calls for a start on April 1st, but I say start now. Buy the generic or a local brand, or even better, make your own at home with whole nutritious foods. Because all of these are filled with chemicals, including red dye. It has been linked to depression, mental disorders, ADHD in kids, let alone all the preservatives that we don't even have enough information to know what it's doing to us and our kids yet. And I know some people are going to watch this and think, well, everyone else can handle it, but you can't want a revolution and wait for everyone else to do it for you. This could be the start of something huge, more than just about Kellogg's. If we want to do something truly about the price of groceries, about the increases in rent, the increases in utility, the increase in mortgage rates, we have to take it upon ourselves. The government has already proved that they're not going to do it for us. We vote with our dollars. We make people richer by buying their products. If you want to take away their power, take away their wealth. We outnumber them and they're still controlling us like puppets on a string. Not only that, but when you rely less on these products, you're going to rely less on the products they make to counteract the effects from the first product. If you stop consuming all of the bullshit chemicals that are in these products, You're going to stop needing all the bullshit energy drink chemicals that are in their other products. Because you're going to have natural energy, you're going to feel better, you're going to start waking up to everything else that's going on. This concerns every single one of you watching this video, and if you want to be part of the solution and not the problem, then we need to stand together in order to get positive change that we want out of this world.
So
Well, I can
I'm gonna
totally
join.
attest to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I can say I will totally do that. I'm gonna look
Yeah.
at those lists and keep them in mind when I'm shopping.
Mhm.
Because we
Well,
have to do
and
something.
I need you to come and see the.
so
Okay,
you
we're
know I
almost
like my
done right
sugar,
now.
right?
Me too. Me too.
Yeah. Yeah, like I've always liked my sugar. I have never really limited myself on sugar because
Me
I
neither.
really liked it. And so this January, I'm like, you know what? It's probably time for me to grow up and put on my big girl pants and like
I
be a
can't
little
just
more
yet,
conscious
baby.
about what I eat. And so I've been trying to avoid like the processed sugars and the,
Mhm.
you know, just reaching for candy and stuff. And I had no idea. Like for real. I had an ice cream sundae the other day and I felt like shiz.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
How long had you
there's
not
so
had
much
sugar when you had that?
since January, but I'm not like super anal retentive about it. Like if it's in my bread and I'm eating a sandwich, I'm not too worried about it. Or
Yeah.
like I substitute honey where I can or stuff like that. Like I'm not really into it. I just don't eat candy. I don't reach
Yeah.
for like sugary snacks or I don't eat cereals, a big one. Like
Yeah.
Mama,
anyway, and it changes a
can I
lot.
talk to her?
I
Sure.
would imagine I need to. Yeah.
That's like the first time in 40,
Yeah.
how old am I? Over 40 years.
That you've limited yourself.
Yeah, that I've
Wow.
even attempted.
Yeah. So I think that was all of the things that I actually had. So we can finish off with them.
Can we
Very
pause
cool.
the meeting for a minute?
Pause the meeting for a minute. Okay,
Yeah,
why?
just a second.
Well, I have a problem on my iPad. When I press the button, it would still be black. That wasn't the problem.
I think it's out of
Oh,
battery.
is it out
baby.
of battery? Do you know how to plug it in?
Nope.
Oh, well,
Well, that it was 1,000 hours and a half, and
sweet.
I heard I had it charged right now on Cyan Melon, but it was still black screen.
Oh,
Oh, no. Dang
I
it.
guess
That's no fun.
I better go help with the black screen situation.
Okay.
But thanks for making
Awesome.
today work.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
So
Been
that's
so busy, but I've missed you.
I have missed you as well.
Yeah. And hopefully this was interesting and now we got some
Yeah.
stuff to look up further.
And now I know.
Yes, now you
I want to
know.
go look into those world fairs a little more because that's
Yeah, and if you find anything,
intriguing.
share
That's
it
a
with
rabbit
me.
hole I could get lost in.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Have fun in that rabbit hole. All right.
I will.
Well,
That
I
sounds
love
awesome.
you. I Lilas.
Love you,
And we'll
Lilas.
talk to you later. Don't hang up. Well,
Awesome.
we're done. Say bye.
Bye.
We still need to do it while we're fixing the black screen.
No, we don't.
Mm.
Okay. Lilas. Bye.
Lilas. Bye.
Subscribe up there.
Subscribe.
There's a subscribe up there.
Okay.
Like the button.
Okay.